overnight. You out of sight. You magnified. You're
Hey babe, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Treasure, your mental health visionary, taking you on a journey for mental wellness. This is another episode of Raw Moments, and today's topic is God's grace. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos. But let's just get into the topic of God's grace and stepping into it. Before we get started, I am in a new space of filming today. I am outside on my rooftop. I did not anticipate, which I don't know why that I didn't, but I did not anticipate how loud it was going to be with the cars passing by and the planes flying over me. So I'm really sorry in advance for any, interruptions or loud noises. I will try to edit as much of that out as possible without altering, what I'm saying, but hopefully I'm speaking loud enough too. I thought the vibes would be nice to just, get some fresh air because it's not too hot up here yet. But anyways, I apologize in advance if any of this was a distraction, and I promise when I'm editing a video, if it was too much, we will not do this again. We will film in our regular spot from now on. But just for today's video, I hope it's not too bad. So first, I have to give credit to the person that inspired me to talk about this topic, who is Sarah Jakes Roberts, I believe. I watch her all the time on YouTube. Almost every single morning I find a sermon of some sort to watch of hers. She's just so inspiring. There was a Sunday service where she talked about God's grace and stepping into it and not taking God's grace for granted, and it really resonated with me because it is so hard going through depression, but nobody really talks about how hard it is after coming out of depression. Because when you're in depression, you want nothing more than to just be out of it, be healed, be, done with it. And so that's what you pray for. At least that's what I prayed for a lot. Just like coming out of it, please take me out of this. I want to be healed. I want to be better. I don't want to be depressed anymore. And I just had this misconception that once I was no longer depressed, life was just gonna go back to how it was before, or it was just gonna be easy and things were just gonna flow, and that could not be further from the truth. Life after depression is hard because you are now reintroducing yourself to society. With me in particular, I was depressed for 4 years, and because during those 4 years I was not in touch with real life. I had my own world that I was living in, and it was not connected to the real world. And while I was probably out here and there and like around people, it was like my body was physically there, but I wasn't mentally there. And so now that I'm not depressed anymore, I am hypersensitive to everything that's happening around me. It feels like I'm a newborn baby and, relearning everything, because I can't go back to what I was before depression. And so it's like me learning this new version of myself and how that fits into the world. And, in her sermon, she just talked about, God gave you grace to get through what you were going through, and it is now time to take that grace that he gave to you and use it effectively, and to not take it for granted, because the grace that was given to you was given on credit, is how she said it. So basically what I took that to mean was, while I was depressed, there were a lot of things that I, wasn't 100% myself, obviously. And so there were things that I could get away with, or things that I could just not have to pay attention to or really work for, that God just handled for me. And that was the grace that he was giving me on credit for now the work I have to do that I'm out of depression. And it's my, you know, responsibility to not take that grace for granted and to use it now, you know, pay him back for the grace that he's given. And that means that I'm gonna have to work hard or harder than I had to while I was depressed for certain things, because while I was depressed, you know, God took care of me and everything happened exactly when I needed it to. I never went without. Like, God took care of me. And now I'm hearing him, you know, tell me that it's time for me to work a little bit harder because now I have the ability to. And I just did not anticipate how hard I was going to have to work after coming out of depression. I really thought that things were just going to be easy. And, you know, I don't have a problem with working for things. It was just certain things that I thought would just come easily to me, and they don't come easily to me because I'm not the same person that I was before. So really understanding that, and understanding that me walking in my purpose is going to take work. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be, you know, something that just naturally flows in the sense of just saying I'm going to do something or thinking I'm going to do something and then I'm going to wake up and it's going to be done. Like, I'm going to have to put the work in, and it will be natural because it is my purpose, but I have to put the work in before it just becomes a natural thing. So that's really what I'm working on right now. And really just like almost in a sense starting my life over, because life after depression is a whole nother ball game that I did not prepare myself for mentally or physically. And now that is what phase that I'm in. And you know, I just saw something on TikTok where this girl was like explaining, like, you know, no one talks about, you know, after you come out of the wilderness and, you know, you're in your promised land that God, you know, revealed to you or expressed to you how it was going to look, what that looks like when you first get there. You're confused because you're like, well, I'm in my promised land, but it doesn't look like the, you know, things that were promised to me. And she made a really good analogy of how you are in a contaminated space or area, and you are going from somewhere that is contaminated into a place that is contamination free. But when you get to the place that is contamination free, the people that are in the hazmat suits have to like wash you down and, you know, get all the contamination off you before they can allow you to go into the place that is contamination free, which makes a lot of sense, because if they don't do that, then you are now contaminating the place that is contamination free. And it's kind of like what it is for me right now. Like, I do believe that I'm in my promised land and that everything will start happening exponentially, but I have to be cleansed of all the, you know, contamination that I picked up along the way through, you know, my depression. And for me, I relate that a lot to my mindset, because I still currently have the mindset that I had while I was depressed, and I can't take that with me to where I'm headed. I have to have a better mindset, a stronger mindset, and God will not allow me to move forward until that's fixed. And so it's like he has to strip me of all of those bad habits or like bad mindset things that I picked up along the way, and like transform them as well. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I have to deal with at the moment is my mindset, because everything else, to my knowledge, that, you know, I learned going through depression are, you know, positive things and things that I can bring with me on my journey that have really helped me be a better person. But I'd be lying if I said that I was just, okay, I'm this new person, refreshed, and you know, I'm a better me, but I don't have flaws. Like, I still have flaws. I still have things about me that I need to change and that I need to transform. I just know that depression molded me into a better person, but there are still things that I need to fix. And my mindset was not something that could be fixed while I was depressed, because it honestly was just the last thing that was on my mind, because I was so focused on just getting better. And so yeah, my mindset is one thing that I need to fix, or you know, change, transform, you know, be better for me to be able to move forward. And so that's the contamination that, you know, God is working on with me, of having a better mindset. And I know once I have made significant strides, that I will start to see things coming into fruition, especially because I am well aware that that is something that I need to work on. And I have been making, you know, efforts to helping my mindset be better and just be more, you know, confident within myself, and you know, just changing what I need to about my mindset. So I am not taking God's grace that he gave me on credit for granted. I am using it now to pay him back. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and just know that if you too are, you know, coming out of depression, or coming out of anything that was just, you know, I don't want to say toxic necessarily, but it could be toxic, you know, for some people. If you are coming out of a place, or you have just come out of a place that was, you know, something you had to fight your way through, and you are, you know, coming into a more positive space and a more productive space, just be patient with yourself, but also know that you're gonna have to work. It's not gonna come easy. It's gonna be work for you to navigate and learn yourself again, because essentially that's what you're doing. You are learning yourself again after going through something that is traumatic or life-altering, life-changing. You are relearning yourself. You're a new person, and you're learning yourself. The people around you are learning, you know, the new you. So just be patient with it, but just know that you will have to do the work in order to move forward and make progress. But you will, and I believe in you. You should believe in you. God believes in you. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching this episode of Raw Moments. I can't wait to see you guys again next week for next week's topic. I don't know what it is, it just comes to me and I make the video, so we'll see what next week's topic is. But may your day be filled with self-love, kindness to yourself, and remember that your mental health matters, babe. Love you, and have an amazing